Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to Timberborn, episode 2 of our Emberpelts season. And who are the Emberpelts? Well, they're a new faction that you can get via a mod. I know they look fairly normal right now in the sunset, but trust me, they have a reddish hue. You may have spied one right up there. I don't know, my microphone's kind of in the way. That was there just as we began. Some of them are still gray or silver, but they'll have little red spots in them. And then all of their architecture is slightly different colors, and there's some new stuff. If you haven't checked out the Emberpelts mod, I would highly recommend it. It's kind of cool, and I'm really looking forward to how some of the unique things about them play out this season. But today we have let some time go between videos. The mod list has not increased extensively as I had planned. The only thing that I have now are ladders. There's a separate ladders for Emberpelts that you have to have the ladder mod and that mod. But I have my ladders back, so all's well that ends well. And then I haven't done much else other than just let the game run. I mean, in fact, I haven't done anything else but let the game run so that we can have some logs and some playing so that today we could actually accomplish some things. I did have a few other mods in that I was testing out, but while I was waiting for those logs and those planks to be gathered, I kept getting random game crashes. And they were just totally random. They weren't like at specific events or specific times that I could really pin down, and they were not reliably repeatable. I keep a copy of a save anytime I add new mods to the game, so that I can then go back and look and see, okay, well, what changed? What events are causing you to crash, and kind of troubleshoot. There wasn't anything, so I took all the mods back out. I'll eventually get them back in. Maybe time is a thing anymore, but yeah. So we're not really expanded too much on the modding front today. But what I do want to get accomplished today is a couple things. One, I want to expand a little bit of food production. And to do that, we may come over to here. We are coming over here regardless. And we may even go back there in that corner. But before I do any of that, as daylight approaches, man, I timed that well, is I want to get in some stairs right there. And then I want to build a dam as well. But I kind of almost really want that to be back here. Just because I want to hold back as much water as possible. But obviously we don't want to go this elevation. We want the water to not go above 1 meter in depth, because if we do, we'll flood everything. So what if instead we do something like this? Let's come in here to, first of all, levees, and go right there for one of them. And then come across with dams to there, and then another levee, and then to get down to there, let me just do that, and then to get this connection made, we can just go here. Oh yeah, I forgot. So one of the coolest things. One of the things that I said when the tubeways came out, I was kind of hoping, and you guys echoed it in the comments as well, of just things that would be super cool if they were to come to be. And it looks like, hey, maybe because of the way the tubeways work, that this change could apply to another item in the game. And lo and behold, it has come to pass that power shafts are no longer multiple pieces. I'm gonna go way up here so they can't get to it to build it. You just drag them in and they just connect. They make all the connections that they need automatically. If you need to go vertical, there is the solid power shaft, which we'll go ahead and unlock that. So you can build those up and connect those in to your power grid, no problem. And then up here, that just becomes a connection if you place one on the top, and you can see that it's ready to accept connections on the side if need be. It's perfection. I haven't used it yet, so maybe it's not perfection. Maybe it's buggy as all get out, but I doubt it. The developers tend to do a good job, even here in the experimental branch, of releasing incredibly stable stuff. So I know this is kind of overkill for paths and things like that, but I figured we're probably eventually going to want a lot of paths in here anyways, so why not just do it now? It'll be a nice project for them to work on. We can also speed things up. There's no reason to have it going slowly. Plus, that gives them, all 4 of the builders, something to really be working on, because until they actually get across, they won't be able to build from this side. Duh. And that way we've got things for them to be doing instead of just sitting here in the district center forever and always. There was one thing I wanted to come back and look at, and that is where the next grid line is going to go this direction. Well, actually this direction. It looks like about here, but let's count it off. So we're doing what, 10 by 10? Yeah, even though this is 9 by 10, whatever, we're gonna not pay attention to that mistake that I made. So this is 10, so this is 11. So it looks like I was close. I don't know. Maybe. And then we can, this is silly, but I'm gonna do it. We're going to build a levee, and then we're going to build dams there. Even though there's like a wall in the way, we may wind up doing something over here on this side that will make that kind of useful. Plus, we can get rid of this and bring a little bit more irrigation to, well, nothing really. It's not going to do us any benefit, but it'll be another little extra place that there'll be some water to look at. And isn't that always fun to look at water? Sure. Oh man, I'm just going to claim that I'm still under the effects of all kinds of medication, which is true. I am still like, this year has been bad for me in allergies. Like really, really bad. So yeah, that's coming along nicely. So cool. While they are doing that, I want to come back over here then and figure out how do we want to get to here. We don't have dynamite yet, so maybe before we go here, we come up here and start collecting bad water and get ourselves a centrifuge, but a centrifuge is going to require gears and metal blocks. But we can make gears, that's no big deal. We have scrap up here, so if we like brought a little more industry this direction, that could be the thing that we need to do first. Just so that we can, you know, have the dynamite to do a little bit of terraforming here. Otherwise, the only other solution would be to just either go up and then down, or come out here and break up my grid, which, you know, I'm not married to the grid being 10 by 10. I just like the grid being 10 by 10. Yeah, I'm really torn here. Speaking of things that need to go, actually, I didn't say anything that needed to go, but, you know, bad segues are my forte. So what we're going to do is, while my brain processes all the stuff I just considered a moment ago, we are going to begin working on getting all of this stuff cleared out, and instead of just chopping it down, we are going to let them clear it properly. So we're going to go there, clearing logs, here clearing logs, and all of these, marking way more than we actually need to clear for the area, because by the time they get over there and build that, never mind, they're across in two different places. I was saying, by the time they get over there and clear it, I didn't realize they were across. Wow, when did that happen? Like, I was looking over here just a minute ago and none of these were built, and now they are, and that's insanity. So I think what we'll do is let them finish this last little bit of path, and then we'll look and see how we can start getting the scrap and the bad water collected. So yeah, this is looking pretty fantastic. So let's wait for daylight, and we will pick up from there. And daylight has returned. So the only thing they have left is this path, which I think, did I connect that? No, but for now, I don't think we really need to because there's just stuff in the way anyway. So how many beavers do we have? 6, 4 empty beds, 2 children. So that'll give us, we could have up to 12 unemployed. We're about to take up 3, but those are going to be temporary. Eventually, we're going to extend our apple orchard over into a bit of this area. I think that will be helpful because, as you can see, well, right now we don't have any storage for apples, so we should probably make that a reality. So we've got this dude here picking them. So let's come in. Since I don't have metal blocks yet, we can't really use our overhangs. I mean, we could wait, but I don't want to. So we're going to store some apples right here in just a medium warehouse. Mark this for, that's bell peppers. One of these are apples. Yeah, oh, there we go. I keep forgetting that apples is both a primary food source as well as something that can be processed, which it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of plays out. There's still a lot of them on the trees, so I'm thinking that we could probably use like another gatherer. I know I just built one over here, but that one's temporary. So instead of building this one, let's can that and just put this one right here, and then they can get the apples and everything else. We can go ahead though and get the apple juice in production. I believe it only requires apples and nothing else. So we are going to click these until we find them. Tomato. Yeah, I figured it would be the first one, but that didn't look like an apple to me in the little icon. Now that I look at it, it very clearly is an apple. Whatever. So the apples get turned into apple juice in a press. But is that going to require stuff we do not have? Yes, it requires gears. So now, last time I mentioned that I'm not going to go nuts on production of planks and things like that. I just don't think that is all that necessary, to be honest. However, we did just burn through quite a few of our planks. And if we're going to start producing gears, we're going to need more. And so my thought behind this series playthrough is try to get by with just 1, maybe 2 of each resource in production. However, for things like planks that wind up getting used in multiple areas, that may be like the exception of where I do more. And I'm eyeing this large lumber mill because it only uses 25% more power, but, well, 50% more power, but gives us double the output. So that could be a nice solution there. Granted, it takes the same number of workers. How much power are we making right now? 71, but we can expand that fairly easily. So I'm not too terribly worried, and that's nearly enough, and that would fit there nicely. It just will, and then that'll leave us room later if we want to do. Oh, does this don't exist? The fermenters don't exist in this one. Never mind. So we can just do storage up there. And then we could just butt up the juicers to the back side of it, or do our gears there and do juicers over here, maybe with their own set of wheels that later we consolidate into 2 different ones. But we are going to need more planks because this requires 10. We have 10. Now we have 9. But if I just kind of like chill for a minute, let them get this constructed, then we'll have a few more planks. So let's do that, because we're now out of planks. But I think we've just used the last one we need to use for a while. So I'm going to let them get the apple storage constructed and partially filled, and then we'll pick up from there. So we actually let one extra day go by, but planks are still getting used somewhere. Where are we using planks? What is still under construction here that is taking planks? Because it was just while they were in storage. Okay, or in transportation to storage. So we're good. So this is going to go goodbye for now. I'm going to get rid of that. I don't know that there's anywhere for them to put these logs at the moment. That's okay. I'm going to pause for just a second here. And yes, we do have the signs for this. I guess I probably should have checked that before I tore that other one down, but whatever. There we go. So now they should have enough planks to get that built. And then I am going to expand out power production just a skosh. And by a skosh, I mean we're just going to go ahead and go all the way across here. And then let's do one gear workshop over here. Like right like that. And then what I should be able to do is come into this side and get our press in right here like that, and then run a path. I want to change one thing on this one though. I want to have it facing the opposite direction. Oops, that's the wrong button. There we go. Lovely jubbly. And then boom, those will get power. And then we can store the apple juice. I know we've already made some other storage for apple juice, but we can have more right here. Pause. So that will get our apple juice in production. And then I also, just to be safe, I want to go ahead and add in another water pump. Right now we're holding steady, but I just want to be safe. I wish I could go that way with it, but I'm gonna have a little bit of wasted space here. That's okay. We will go like right there, and then to fill in that little spot, we will. And something's working overtime with the water sloshing sound. Is it you? Yeah, you're going hard there, buddy. We'll go right here with water. So we have 5 beavers unemployed. We are going to take up 1 here, I think. Yes, 1. I see it now. 2, 3. So good. We are still well within where we need to be. I am, since they've already plucked most of those berries, gonna assign that for a demolition. And anything over this way that we can do, I mean, we could. That guy's doing really good at getting those torn down, but I don't think we need to. But let's get our new little apple juicery / beer manufacturing underway. But before we do that, before we speed up to a montage, let's get some storage for gears. That'd probably be great. Let's just go right here. That'll be fine for now. We're gonna probably redo a lot of this, so not too terribly worried about exact placement right now. So cool. Yeah, we're just gonna let this go and get all of this constructed. That's the view I like. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. So cool. Let's watch them get it built. So we kind of paused here because the drought kicked in. I thought we were going to get this done before the drought happened, but we didn't. So we're not making any gears right now, or planks for that matter. So we're close on these, and by close I mean not even really, but you know, we'll get there. So let's shift gears just a little bit. Now that this is in back here, it will hold in water. So we can come in here and demolish that one and demolish that one. Just want to make sure I'm leaving them like a place to actually stand when I'm demolishing these. I think they can do this one from the corner. Yep, so I can get rid of that one as well. And then we can come in here, and even though it won't be built for quite some time because of the lack of all the stuff, we can still get that in there. And then I am going to go ahead and just clear this stuff out. That way I can get my paths in here. So that's going to end there. That's going to go there. And then this will eventually become an additional apple orchard. Probably a lot of this space over here actually will. So let's throw that back in. We do have power once again, so that's always nice. And that can go there. That can go there. And then it's just a waiting game, really. They've got everything cut down that I asked them to cut down. Yeah, so I'm going to, for now, just temporarily throw in paths there and there. We may also want to consider, yeah, let's do it. Cutting down, not cutting down, but removing berries there so that we have a place for our path. Gonna put that there, that there. Again, placeholders, just so nothing grows back where the paths are going to be, and then we just have to wind up cutting it down again. And we didn't really lose all that many trees. So I want to find out here. So this gives us 5 apples every 8 days. And then this is going to use 2 apples an hour to give us 3 apple juice. So yeah, we're definitely going to need a lot more apples since they also eat the apples and turn them into juice. We're definitely going to want to expand and have a considerable number of apples. But before we can do anything else, really, because even if I wanted to plant more trees at the moment, this needs planks. Everything that we're about to do needs planks. So let's have things just kind of shake out here. I'm going to have them hopefully pick up these logs. And I guess that would be one thing that we could do in the short term is add a bit of additional log storage. Now that we're starting to do some larger projects, let's slow things down. Maybe put them back here. I don't like how this is gonna like not come through where the path would be. So instead, no, either way we're gonna be wasting a little bit of space here, but I'd rather do like this and be able to just kind of like cut that little section in half. I know I put an extra one there. It's fine. And then this is just going to be for additional log storage. That way we don't wind up running out completely. We do have gear storage there, but of course no gears to go in them because those are all going straight to construction, which we're up to 20 planks on that, 4 gears there, 17 planks on that one. So we're getting there. It's just going to take a minute, just the nature of how it goes. So I'm going to let them continue to work on all that and get some more trees cut down. And then while I'm considering that, I want to look. I know this has a new option, kiln. There we go. So that requires planks and clay and makes bricks. What are we going to need those bricks for? So the smelter is going to need bricks. So we will definitely need that to get our blocks. Oh man. This has become a whole thing here, hasn't it? And we don't really have any extra beavers. So I suppose we could do housing and get some extra spaces in for that. Because we're only going to have 1 beaver. Well, potentially 4, but 1 if it were to happen right now, available to work. So yeah, let's stack on a few more houses here. Not a lot though. Let's just do 3 for now. That'll give me room for 9 more beavers, and they should have no problem getting those built because those are just logs. Same with what we just finished there for log storage. Those are just logs. So yeah, we should be able to get these. Oh, what? Wait, what? Too far from a district. I thought you could just keep building up and up and up and up with these. Okay. Interesting. Even though, like, it shows that it's connected, like, you can see the green arrow there and the path, but they can't reach up to get them built, so they can't come up through there. they can only travel up through once it's built. Am I understanding that correctly? Huh, well, okay, well that kind of changes things, because if they're not going to be able to build them, that won't really help us now, will it? Answer, no, it will not. I mean, you can even see, like, this place where the stairs would be coming through. Come on, I'm hitting escape. Why is that not going away? Now it is. Yeah, that's really peculiar. I would have expected, since they can go up through these buildings, that they would also be able to climb up through them and, you know, build them. But the ladders tend to have that, or at least had that problem as well. And I don't really have a way around it at the moment because everything requires planks. Yeah, everything requires planks. I could put houses in a different location, I guess. Back here? No, I don't really want any back there. I could probably get away with some here. That could work. I could do some, maybe like one there. Oh man, this is kind of frustrating because I wanted this path to come up like this. So if that were to happen, that would leave me. Well, that would leave me with space to do couple more houses, so I guess we'll put them here for now. Not exactly what I wanted, but whatever. We don't always get exactly what we want in life, do we, friends? No, we do not. Cool, that at least gives us a few more beavers, and then we'll wait for these gears to get built and made, and which will then let these get built, which we're almost there. We only need, well, no, we're like a third of the way there. No, about 25% of the way there. So yeah, I'm just gonna let that happen and let them continue cutting down some additional trees and all that good stuff. And I just realized a mistake that I made. This doesn't need to be dams. This needs to be levees to hold the water back. Though, does it really matter? I mean, it's not going to let out that much more water. Yeah, it kind of matters. So I'm going to do a multi... Because if I just demolish the whole thing, we will just be dumping all our water that way, and we won't get any flowing this way, which will slow down our water wheels. So we don't want to do that. So we're going to build in some temporary levees and then tear down the dams. I can't believe I made that mistake. And then replace the levees and then get rid of the other levees. So that's just going to be just something I do kind of here, quote unquote, off camera. So cool, that is all done, and I've got that prioritized for pickup, but our log storage is almost maxed out. So I've added in a little bit more log storage and some more plank storage as well, just right here. And they'll get that going. Also getting some stairs so they can kind of get up and around through this area a little bit better. Not going to do any stairs right here because then that would cut off all of that path. Though, because of the way these are interconnected, I don't know if that really matters anyway, but whatever. So we're going to shift gears just a little bit here because I want to also start thinking about well-being for our beaver friends. So to that end, I want to unlock a couple well-being items, namely the scratcher, because that's something that we can build right now, as well as the contemplation spot, and probably some medical beds now that we're starting to make some industry. Probably not a bad idea. Try that word again. Decontamination pod, not necessary right now. Detailer we can't build right now, and the same with all of these down here. We can't really build them right now. What we can build though is these guys, and I want to try to get... Okay, so which one of these can go under a platform? I can't remember. Was it the scratcher? Yeah, the scratcher can go under a platform. Good. So unpause here, and we're going to go like right there, because we are going to have a platform up here to enable some other well-being that we're going to put on this roof. Though, is that really where I want to do that? we could do like a little thing here and bring out, go this way. So what I don't do is get the rooftop terrace. We could do that like that and then connect it over this direction later on down the road if we desire. Yeah, that would work. So we'll get in a single scratching post there. We'll get in a few more just wherever we can cram them in. So we've got what, like a 9 square here? That's 3, yeah. Yeah. So we could maybe do like a little cut in here with a path and then do things on both sides of it. That could work. Though I hate that we've got that back there not being used, but whatever. So what we could do is like do this side with a couple contemplation spots and this side with a few more scratchers. And then we could come up here to where kind of like some of our industry is sitting, even though it's far away from the stuff that I think is really going to cause injuries. And do like a couple of medical beds, spin that around a few times. There we go. That should go a long way toward helping our well-being come up from just 10, which means they'll work faster, live longer, all of that wonderful stuff. And we have a lot of stuff here to get cut down. So we've got a little project happening there. We have little projects with some stairs. And of course, they still can't get to these houses, but we'll worry about that eventually. I'm not too terribly concerned about the lack of workers. So while they're working on all of that, I want to come over this way and start planning out how we're going to get all the way up there. I mean, that's quite the trek to both the ruins as well as the Badwater. And what I'm thinking is we'll use this path here and just go up this way and then kind of come up and over that way. So we're going to need to come back just a little bit. If I use ladders to have, oh, I don't have science points for ladders. Maybe we could use a spot up here for one more. I was wanting to get the kiln in as well because we know we're going to need that for metal blocks. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's work our way up this way and then we can worry about kiln next time. So we're going to have to do it with stairs, which means we're going to have to use platforms, and that's just because we don't currently have enough science points. Sad reality. But you know, you live within your means, etc., and all that good stuff. So that's what we're doing today. We're living within our means. So that will then need to come up one there, and go there, and then ooh, this may still be limited by science points. So that's going to spend almost all of them and not quite get us where we need to go. And I guess it means we're just going to have to do that. I don't really like that with the doubles, or to replace double, but whatever. We'll end up using more resources. And then up there, and then we'll need to come up here and go across. But I'm thinking that since we don't have any capability to currently just dam these off or cap these off and get the bad tide that way, I think I want to do this with a dam so that even during droughts we're holding or we're getting some bad water still. Yeah, I like that idea. And then we will run that there and then just kind of peek back over here. We are going to need a platform and go there, and there. Cool. And then that can then just run straight over there. And that will eventually get us to where we need to go. It's a very long trek for both resources, honestly, but at least it's gonna get us there. So I'm gonna speed this along, get some things over here built out and get those stairs built out, and then that'll put us, I think, so looking at the resources, yeah, it should put us in a good place for next time. We are starting to get some apple juice. We've got both of them running but we're not keeping up. We're not even getting close to filling all of our storage. So we'll consider that in a moment. But let's get this finished up real fast right here. And that took just a little bit longer than I anticipated because we had a drought in the middle, so we weren't producing planks. But we did get our well-being up to 13, so not too shabby. So whoops, we're looking pretty good. They're enjoying. Ooh, even the scratchers are different color. I dig it. They are enjoying all of their recreational opportunities, including the rooftop terrace. So if we go in here, we can see. Well, we're doing all right. We're looking pretty good. Contemplation spot looks like we could maybe use one more somewhere. But beyond that, we're looking good. Maybe even one more scratcher somewhere. But I'm not too terribly worried about that at the moment. I mean, I see a spot that we can get them like right there. But for now, what I want to do to cap things off is just get us in a good place for next time. And that is going to entail a bit more storage. So we're going to go right up here. Actually, I don't know which one it gets stored in. Where does... not charcoal, though we're going to need to make charcoal eventually. Where does... what's the word I'm looking for? There we go. Bricks get stored in a warehouse. So we're going to throw warehouse right there, make that for our bricks. And we're going to come up here and do a kiln. They make charcoal as well, so we might want to get 2 of these and go ahead and start making charcoal. That might not be the worst idea ever. But we're running out of places to put all this is the only problem. So we could go there, and then we could go like there, do this one. Since this is right here by the clay, we'll do this one for the bricks, and then we'll do this one for charcoal, and then that gets stored in these, right? Yeah. They can use charcoal, I think, in like places like here as well. No, they just use logs. I know they use charcoal in something. Oh, it's fuel that they can use it. So I don't know if that one's actually all that important right now. Oh no, charcoal gets used in the smelter. Okay, so that is important right now. Put that back. Oops. Yeah, we definitely do need the charcoal happening as well. So where are we gonna do the storage? I guess what we'll do is, even though I don't want to do it because we're gonna wind up needing logs eventually, is we'll switch this one to charcoal. It'll take a while for that to get emptied. But they won't store any new logs in there. In fact, let's do a little bit better here. Let's change this one to planks and change this one to charcoal. There we go. So they'll empty that out and store planks there, and then they'll empty the planks out of this one and store the charcoal there. That way it's not all that far to go, and that will get us, they got those built fast. That'll get us in good shape for next time, because we will need those resources to get all of that accomplished. But we're looking pretty doggone good for now. So we're just going to come in here really close, focus in on these guys enjoying their time. Well, if they keep leaving, enjoying their time in the rooftop terrace. And say until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.